barrier.
Yeah, and it's important for the team, and it's going to be important on this next Battleground too, because we are headed to Dragonshire, chosen by B-Step, willing to forego first pick to make sure that they can go to somewhere where they feel comfortable. We've seen B-Step pick Dragonshire even versus No Tomorrow, so it has been or become one of their favorites.
It's really funny to see Dragonshire becoming one of the favorites there for B-Step when mainly just because a lot of the time when I would compete against those Cloud9 members, they hated Dragonshire. That was like most resented map, like the Abathur hero that we always talk about. They were like, screw Abathur, never Abathur, always bad thing. Dragonshire they weren't too big a fan of back in the day either. But now they're not only, I mean, they're willing to pick it first priority right after that of Towers.
Yes. For me, I think it's that B-Step has been willing to admit that they just can't get away from split push right now in North American Heroes.
Yeah.
They want to keep playing. They want to keep doing well in HGC. They're just going to have to join it. If you can't beat it, join it.
You got it. Hey, globals are very, very good. They all come down to, a lot of the time, it's just forgiveness. I talk a lot about compositions and why they work the way that they do and what ones are better than others. Like, all comps have an opportunity to win. It's always the one that you can mess up the most with. That is always going to be the better composition. And it turns out, whenever you win a fight, if you can exponentially grow your XP by just going somewhere else to get it, or if when you're behind, you can't fight the objective, you're always soaking somewhere else. Turns out that's a really forgiving way to approach the game. I'm honestly amazed that globals are a problem according to like North American players and what we see in terms of priority, but it isn't consistent. That's the one thing for me that's really strange. Is because we get to the point where we obviously put focus into globals, but we all disagree on the amount. For instance, Gale Force moving into the Zagara, adding that to the arsenal of what we have to consider in globals. Abathur is one that all of NA is accepted, but Zagara is one where it's like, she is technically a global, but if globals are so good and she pulls so far away from the team fight, that she's the only hero where you actually get to see how big of a problem is globals.
I think Brightwing too.
Yeah, she is too. Yeah, another one where it's you hurt your team fight so hard and you're still willing to pick it because, again, it can just teleport across the map. Especially Brightwing because she can't even wave clear. At least Zach can just dominate a minion wave. Brightwing literally just goes, okay, I'm soaking the minions, and like throws out 1 Q, maybe.
Well, we are back in the drafting phase for B-Step and Superstars. Dragonshire, Superstars having the leg up in the series, yes. Something like that.
Both works. You know, I'm no I was going to say wordsmith or dictionary creator or something like that, but either way, we're good. Dahaka banned out 4 Superstars. It's a global. It's a big deal. Dahaka on this map.
And it's B-Step's global.
Yeah, and there are no bosses, so this is where it becomes Dahaka. It may be worth more than that of Falsehead, often talking about the conversation of which global when. One of the few. Falsehead's still a big deal, though. It's just Dahaka's solo lane presence is absolutely intimidating. What do we see from B-Step? Is it the gray main ban? Are they afraid to give up the first pick over to Superstars? Or are they target ban a little bit more at specific players?
I started to look at what they played on Dragonshire versus Gale Force, and then remembered that it was an Ariel ban. So that's not going to give us any information. Likely, is it the 4 or the 1 they're focused on? Do they care more about Falstad? Falstad was a big part of Superstars last game.
About to find out here. They're going very deep. One thing I would like to talk about a little bit, Zeratul is going to be removed. So that actually makes a lot of sense. Goku on Zeratul on Dragonshire is pretty much every game. They pick it. And I complain about it every game, actually.
Goku respect.
I'm pretty confident. It's just every time they're like, well, Zeratul on Dragonshire, and I'm like, okay, so there's only one way to play it. Sometimes it works for them, though. It's about a 50-50, so I can understand that. Removing the comfort from B-Step here and Posey going back to the comfort, picks up a global.
It also may force Superstars to play a more normal Dragonshire game with the 1-4.
That is true. It will make them play, rather than that Assassin plus the 1-3 babying, holding off for the rest of everything else.
Although, we may get to see Probius now.
I'm down. I'm excited to watch Probius because I feel like I still have a lot to learn on what is the ins and outs of that hero, what matchups, what weird intricacies, you know, does she lose or he? I don't even know if it has a gender, but either way, it's a he.
Probius is a he. Yeah.
All right. Well, if he actually has, you know, any specific matchup where you think at first glance he would win and then he ends up losing, because there are a lot of those in Heroes. Nazebo high up here for B-Step. And it's going to be the Anub Arak. Picking a mage, denying the anti-mage.
Nazebo has, I believe, been a favorite for B-Step on this map.
Okay, yeah, that is one. That was the first major adjustment for me in my head as in part 1 out of them that I noted was they were just suddenly on the Nazebo hype train on any 1-4 split map, that being Dragonshire and Tomb. They put a lot of priority into that. But for Superstars and their next 2 picks, Malfurion, I don't think we're going to see Iacona going so on the Uther train that it's above a Malfurion.
Nice call.
What else is it? It's a Greyman. So Superstars draft's pretty strong. But B-Steps, it's holding its own in a different round. Their next 2 picks, I think, are going to be pretty impactful. Very, very crucial that they are the proper ones, or this draft could snowball towards Superstars with that insane trio.
What would you like to see banned here from B-Step?
Tyrael. No, okay, beyond Tyrael, NA memes aside, it's got to be a warrior. My first thought is, like, am I worried about the wave clear and winning the 1-4 the most? My opponents don't have a top. I would probably ban out a solo. I would ban a solo and pick a solo. It would be my biggest focus because with Dahaka gone.
Yeah, Dahaka's already gone.
And the Zeratul strategy forcing him into a traditional 1-4, just prioritize the top. When Saray and the rest of Superstars at times have not had a best understanding of how to run a 4, sometimes they panic and pick Chen.
Still focused on Saray with Varian. Will limit the possibilities of getting kills in the 4-man without his lockdown. But there's still other lockdown possible warriors for Superstars left, unless B-Step maybe is going to change those things up there. Uther, Hover for Superstars ban.
Not surprised, considering the Malfurion already picked up. And last game, by how Iacona prioritized his Uther, you can judge on how Superstars actually views the priority of supports. And that would be Malf in a very close Uther. I'm going to ban him out.
We didn't see Uther picked from APM on Friday versus Gale Force Esports.
Which is funny because he was, like, I think one of the only Uthers out of part 1 before the buff, before anything else.
Yeah, he had 2 Uther games.
Which is really funny to see that work out. B-Step can pick up the Tyrael themselves if they want to. It's not a must. It would be a solid top laner. It would deny anything. What does Superstars want for their laning phase? That's, I think, the biggest question B-Step has to ask themselves. They have no solo at all, so all of this is a part of the 4. Falstad could be the solo. Greymane still can solo too, but they aren't great. They're more of like, we didn't pick a good one. One of those B tier, maybe even C.
Man, that is hard to figure out because Goku's either played Dahaka or Zeratul just about every time, but they have put Falstad in the top lane before.
It's not what I expected out of B-Step. Medivh Muradin, really interesting laning choice coming out from them. A lot of aggression, the dive after the portal. No burst, though, which is what you typically see with a Medivh double warrior CC comp. Somebody's got to be laying down the damages, you know? And the last pick being in a support. It's a little intimidating. Nazebo has burst-ish, but it's not as, you know, just swift as maybe you'd like.
Maybe they're going to get Karzim. Try to dash in.
They could 7-sided it. That's a
throw
good
out
call.
the damage.
And Medivh would be able to aid with a single target burst that you might need if you moved into that palm. Huh. We're about to figure it out, though. 17 seconds left for Superstars. They need their warrior, and if they want a top laner, who is it going to be? Or do they instead send Falstad or Greymane to be a placeholder there? Arthas Jojo.
You know what's funny is I was just thinking, we haven't had very much Arthas this weekend.
I was gonna make a comment about that before, but I got a little sad on the inside.
Thinking about it?
Yeah, about how little Arthas we've seen today. So I've instead decided to vent my anger towards Tyrael.
As long as you have an outlet,
yes.
Dad.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, it's no, Arthas, I oddly enough, I do put him lower in this patch than I did on the last because I think other heroes and because of how the support addition of Uther has affected that meta, I do feel like Arthas should have dropped after what we saw before 2.0, but I do think for how little we've seen him is very, very surprising. He's just not there. You know, the Anubarak rise makes a lot of sense. Still the Muradin and everything else going with the drafts. The only major change in draft priority that doesn't add up too much to me is, in fact, the lower Arthas. How low the Arthas has gone.
Yeah, he has dropped a lot, but there were some teams who were drafting him a lot that just weren't finding success with him. So it may just be sort of a perfect storm of a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B equals
a lot of
less
column
Arthas.
C. Is that how that works?
Yes, caster math.
Caster math says that is the case. Either way, we have less North American Arthas. Looking at the drafts, B-Step has a draft on their hands. That's how I would put it. They have a lot of potential with their comp.
How is that going to work?
A lot of it, I think, what I think is going to happen, it's a new Barak top with everybody else into the 4-man joining, getting the rotation, using the Medivh portals, and then once in a while trying to gank top more than normal with the Medivh. Other than that,
we're going into game.
We got game. Other than that, the laning phase for B-Step will be more chaos-oriented, more rather than just going, here's a minion wave, and dominating it. They want to try and make Superstars second-guess their top lane. For Superstars, it's Arthas all day in the northern lane, and the rest looking for the 4.
That seems fitting for Arthas to be in the north.
In the north. It does. Like especially on this map, because the spoilers, there's spoilers on this map. Outside in the top lane, if you've never taken time to appreciate, right over where that, I believe it's the moon well? I don't know. Up on top lane.
I think Sun's top, isn't
Sun?
it?
You know, you would honestly know better than me.
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe. We'll see. Howling Blast.
Follow-up route. Not going to matter. Mini wave deleted for Superstars. They're going to rotate out. Rhaegar's been bought the whole time. Cass trying to zone it. Helping the rotations as much as you can. But in the end, it didn't matter. Not a minion lost.
Superstars catches him in time thanks to Condemn. Sarai on an old classic of Johanna for him.
You know, one thing that we haven't talked about with the changes that have happened to Zebo, he got better into the 4-man. His Garg and his team fighting got weaker, but his wave clear got better.
Because of Plague of Toads?
Because his toadies, they do a lot of damage now. I guess not that much, honestly. It's just slightly better, but it's, you know, it's the small things add up when there's enough of them. Nice Stormbolt. Faye with a perfect disengage owl. Very quick coming out from her.
Do you think that Superstars or B-Step will still want to get Superstition for Nazeebo since that's been nerfed? I'm thinking no, since there's Greymane and Falstad. Maybe would help with the cocktails, but in that instance, there's also a lot of auto attacks that would put you at a disadvantage. Probably going to want Ice Block.
I definitely think it's going to be the Ice Block, but you know, there is a lot of magic damage on the side of Superstars. So I can see them moving that direction, but I do agree with you. I like the Ice Block a bit more, especially because Greymane has so much auto attack damage. One of the few heroes in the game that actually has more auto attack damage than he does in just raw spell damage. And even that depends on the build. That was a little bit rare to throw down as an absolute. I hate when I see that more than anything in the world of casting. When I try and teach something and I throw down a statement that isn't technically incorrect, but then I always go back to myself and say, well, I can think of one freak 0.001% chance where what I said was incorrect.
It haunts your dreams.
So then I have to drop it and be like, well, it could, I guess, kind of be this way decent.
You can always just tweet it later.
Dude, I guess, maybe.
B-Step holding on to the laning phase back and forth. For a while, holding on to both of the shrines too. It is Sun in the top, Moon in the bottom. Doing a great job with their Nazeebo to apply pressure. The Giants will help Superstars try to push back B-Step here in the bottom lane, though.
Cap off on his own. Icona gets the dismount, double shrine by B-Step only for a second. Good zoning route. By a bit more time, that's going to be Saray wearing that Stormbolt. Nothing gained, nothing lost so far in the bottom lane as we just watch the red bars and blue bars kind of
go up and down.
Up and down. Nobody's got too big of a lead. I like Calf. He's just out there all day. Root.
This will be the first time Superstars holds both. Falstad very quick to get in and see if he can take the Dragon Knight. Can he zone away iDream enough to take this, though?
See, the one thing that you can't do into a into a Medivh unless you have RC is zone off a DK. because he just drops the portal. Beyond the fact that he could just shield and Q you all day, but you drop a portal and it's like the minute they're last second from getting it, you just walk in, auto attack, walk back, and be like, ha! Thanks, gotcha, nerd. It's like near impossible unless you crowd control him when he moves through.
Well, nice to have that mage on guard duty for B-Step. We're trying to take back the bottom shrine now. Stormbolt connects. King Caffeine from the side trying to body block.
Zombie
Walks
wall.
into a zombie wall. Iron Skin's down. Here comes APM to join the party inside of the zombies.
The body blocks were not enough. Superstars using everything they can to block off King Caffeine and friends, and they're just going to be fine. I thought for sure the Medivh portal might be enough for them to dive in and actually lock down a kill for B-Step.
All right, Cap's gonna try to hold. So is Nubarak on the top. Can they channel this is the question. There is the 2 stopping Falstad, but no, Nubarak has to leave the top shrine. Arthas takes it in time. So Superstars survive the first Dragon Knight attempt. Serious Dragon Knight attempt.
Yeah, the other ones were just kind of Dragon Knight's attempts. That one was, that was
for real.
That was for real. You could tell by the way and the amount of pressure applied when they right-clicked. They were much more adamant about that last one. But no Dragon Knight yet. No giant pressure, nothing. It's just going to be the laning phase. Here, 1-1-3 that we see out of these teams. Another minion wave dominated by B-Step. The Night Camp's going to be started by Greymane though. Root on the Calf. It's going to be fine. Pressure in the top lane should draw some members of Superstars up.
The nice thing about having Greymane for Superstars is he can jungle and pick up the mercenary camps by himself. The main jungler for B-Step, having that, it seemed to be Rhaegar as he started to go and get the Giants. He just can't because he has to make sure that he is there to support. He's also one of the primary wave clearer heroes for them too, having that lightning bond. And
this is the Dragon Knight moment for Superstars if they're going to have one. With that Night Camp rushing up on top in a lane that they already winning, they should commit their resources to bottom, cycle through mid with Falstad, and that should be a DK in the next couple of seconds.
They're waiting and getting their Giants though,
yeah.
And so is Rhaegar getting theirs. Idream's gonna come in and block with the portal for a while, but at 7, he doesn't want to be there too long. He does not want to die because he's trying to stack up Master's Touch, which is only at 6 stacks.
Quickly, Superstars might note that Rhaegar has not shown on the map for a while, but they don't because they are allowing Cap to stay on point. Giants have been picked up. Nazeebo's rotating up onto top. McIntyre throwing out the spiders. Zombie wall juked, and that looks like Goku should be able to make it out, especially dodging K1 Pro.
Burrow Charge wasn't there. Falstad's flying in. Save for now is Goku.
That was perfect dodging. Honestly, near flawless to be able to get out of that.
Now B-Step need to get onto that top point because they are losing bottom in the Giant War too. Nobody is here to stop yet except Idream, who does stop. Oh no, Blessed Shield! Goodbye, Master's Touch stacks.
It quickly learns that all it takes is the hard CC, and you can deny Medivh. That is going to be 10 online. Army of the Dead is chosen here for the Heroic out of Superstars, and we also see the Cursed Bullet. Everybody else sticking to the norm. B-Step, also the norm. We'll shout out to Cocoon, even though that has been more dominant in North America and the rest, at least Europe. I don't know if I feel fair saying the rest of the world, but
yeah.
Europe, Cocoon has been, it's been a big deal. It's made an impact.
Yeah, showing that the nerf of the damage of Locust Swarm 2 has come to some effect, although we were already picking Cocoon somewhat before that patch was added to HGC. Dragon Knight thrown away from the structures is an earlier one. Idream trying to build back up his stacks again.
Yeah, he's going to desperately need those Master's Touch. Not having that and already being a lacking of damage composition we were talking about before, it is huge and absolutely crucial here for B-Step to be able to secure that talent, that quest.
Yeah, maybe we'll see some escorting of him around to try to make sure that he can get it. He could just stay in a lane where more heroes are too, possibly, but so far he's had to be in the middle, staying on guard duty.
This camp's going to be revealed, but only 2 members of B-Step are actually here. Idream can drop, but it's only going to be more of like a, hey, look at me, than it is an effective play.
No, Twilight Dream!
Nice zombie wall, at least.
Yeah. So Idream goes down again, trying to stall, delay, do whatever he can. Now Superstars, where it was an incredibly close game all the way throughout up to heroic abilities. Now Superstars starting to step ahead in this game.
Superstars is gaining the control. Slower than we saw in game number 1, but in fact it is still there.
It is Dragonshire.
That flight, man. The root, the damage is there. Man, that was the initiation and the... when has Superstars learned how to do this? They have never been so swift and as a unit to starting a fight as they are here today. That is just ridiculous. Again, just when everybody goes, they go all on the same page. This is so nice to see from this group of players.
I love hearing the sniper sound of Cursed Bullet too from that. Superstars are hoping that they could invade the Giants, but with between a portal and Muradin, King Caffeine zoning, they weren't able to steal away the Giants, so B-Step do get those to try to get some presence back in the bottom lane. They're also about to get 13, so if they want to try to get into a fight, that would be the time before Superstars can get to 16. But again, they're still ramping up in damage. No, Nazebo has finished his Widowmaker stacks, but it really wants to be able to get Spider Colony at 16 for that. Then Vile Infection later on. Stormbolt hits. And iDream wants to finish his Master Touch stacks.
Yeah, he wants those so desperately. We talked about the importance. The Blessed Shield, the Condemn there. B-Step with that Stormbolt. Got a solid peel off the Icona. Zombie Wall gonna drop. Stray is going to be fine for now as the Night Camps have been captured. FaZe making her way to the bottom lane for the 4 versus 4 as the eternal fight of the top lane continues.
I keep talking about them. It's at the point now where I don't know if Master Touch will finish. At least in time to
be relevant.
Save the team, yeah.
Oh, with that 2-man
Wowzers!
route, the Twilight Dream, Iacona making plays here for Superstars. Sets it up, locks it in, and now another DK opportunity. That was just clean.
Clean fights again for Superstars. Won the last game. It was the mid game where things started to be hairy with staggered deaths, but so far have not been plagued by that same situation. And B-Step are now getting to a point where they're so far down that they cannot contest things very well.
Yeah, we normally don't see games go like this on on Dragonshire.
Yeah.
It's just what we see so lopsided in the favor of Superstars is Dragonshire is normally a game you can stall out when you are behind. It's like Infernal Shrines. You can bank on it making it to the later parts of that game. So B-Step, if they do find a way to stop Superstars from actually getting objectives and getting that experience lead, just stalling it is more important, right? Because they can bank on a 25-minute game if they do all those things right. And they're right now, as you said, on that curve of possibly this game just getting way out of control.
The best thing for them is that they've done a lot of damage to FaZe Dragon Knight, and she is trying to siege where she can, but there are still forts up in all of the lanes for B-Step. So now maybe finally can take out this fort. McIntyre caught in the action. Oh, Gust though, and Leyline Seal, McIntyre lives!
He does manage to survive, and so far nothing to be lost except a fort. The Dragon Knight secures it. Goku had such a good body block and attempt to zone away from that portal there. That was the only reason McIntyre almost died. He was, after the ice block, walking right into it, but the whole time, Goku on the Arthas saying, not today, the Gust pushing everybody away. And that was when the Ancestral came in, but he had proper approach to that, and it makes me excited to see how these later team fights are gonna happen. But B-Step still yet to pick up a kill of their own. It's 4-0. But they do have 16 near.
It is on the horizon. They also have some mercenary camps. They are maybe going to lose their Giants, though. This time, Superstars is even more forward in trying to evade, having Saray on the point right from the beginning of starting this. There's no 16, but Superstars stepping off the point slightly, regrouping, making sure that they don't lose any of the advantages they have. It is their game to lose.
Yeah, that's about the best way to put it. And, you know, we don't say that much about Dragonshire. Again, it's just, it is a weird conundrum, and though Superstars is yet to...
Hello. Who is in here?
Unwrap your present.
It's a Hosty.
He's going to barrel roll. They burnt their CC. Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's going to try to fly. Hosty's out.
Goku chasing the back line, drops Army of the Dead. He's by himself for a moment. Hosi getting some damage onto King Caffeine, and Central connects a lot of damage. A Twilight Dream went off, but only hitting one. King Caffeine dwarf tossing out the portal. Can he make it out? He cannot. Medivh is down. Again, Medivh is down as Superstars pressuring up. Porta play is real, but another death on the side of B-Step.
The bird is down.
It's down.
Well, one bird. The other bird survived this one here. And just as B-Step got 16, they cannot catch a break. Shrines activating in a few, and Arthas ready and willing to take the top point. Teammates moving down to get the Moon Shrine, and Falstad's in position. Murden's going to try to stop. We've got 17 seconds until all of B-Step are on the board.
So here's one, and I think two might be possible, but past that, none.
Dwarf toss.
Dragonite online, 14-minute Dragonite. Bottom four is the only actual structure to fall so far in this game. Surprisingly enough, 19's just around the curb. Once this four is going to be achieved for Superstars, what is the focus for Superstars with this Dragonite? Looks like it's going to be bottom. Looks like it's going to be bottom. For a moment, they were like, is it going to be mid? And no, they've restored faith. We're going to this bottom lane, but Master's Touch has 5 stacks. 5 stacks, Gilly.
And a lot of that's been in the past couple of seconds, being able to stack on Dragonite.
It really has been.
It's is difficult. It goes to show you how horrible it is if he dies once, twice, especially while trying to stack that.
It's actually really weird because Medivh, like how he plays around that 7 is legitimately like at levels 1 through 6, you can play as aggressive as you possibly want. You hit 7 and you go, until I have 30 stacks, I am playing so baby.
Yeah, to the point that you will see him sacrifice teammates if he must.
Yeah.
Save himself, make sure he has force of will, make sure that he doesn't get caught out trying to save a teammate. It does change significantly how a Medivh plays.
Superstars.
And he, at this point, does not want to be playing that way. He wants to be aggro again. He wants to be a damage dealer with the team.
He wants to battle, be the Medivh that sets B-Step up to setting the series to even, not maybe going down to match point, but right now, not the case. They're yet to get a fort, but it's not like it keeps down. Again, it's Dragonshire. We can wait this out. B-Step is, again, still maybe too far behind for them to wait for that late miracle. But we'll find out.
As long as there are keeps, is a hope.
Out of the 20s, indestructible for Johanna. Arthas hasn't picked up his. And
looking at maybe Anti-Magic Shell, Death's Advance, Legion of Northrend if he just wants to be that tanky backliner for forever. He can never die. Nice Stormbolt to save McIntyre. Dwarf toss away too to avoid Howling Blast. Will be Legion of Northrend, so more sustainability for Goku. He can be even more of a nuisance in the backline of B-Step.
With 20 advantage, Superstars is going to move up to this keep. They've got the camps even ridding of the Garg already. That is a huge defensive tool that's not going to be available anymore for B-Step. Goku missed the Howling Blast. Keep down for B-Step. Superstars, full control. They go in. Blessed Shield, Condemn, Root, Twilight Dream. The Force of Will keeps Cap alive.
And he goes into Avatar form, and maybe now or never. We've got Leyline Seal possibly to stop this from going away. Portal's there. King Caffeine slowing down Superstars in the retreat. Here come the rest of B-Step. Gus to stop, but there's Burrow Charge from K1 Pro. B-Step feel they are too separated from each other. They'll stop going in, especially after that Howling Blast.
Nice peel there from the Howling Blast. Epic Mounts used up towards top.
That's like when you go out the door in winter and there's just ice there. You slip around and fall, or you get stuck in the snow. That's what happened with the Howling Blast.
You are correct. The 2-man Burrow Charge. Temptation on bottom for this fight, but Falstad's not there for Superstars. No, I was gonna say, I agree with you, but it's more of like, I guess from where I'm from, it's like the snowstorm is like, it's just a wall of snow when you open a door.
And you open the door and immediately start tunneling.
Yeah, it's like you have to jump to even get outside of your house, and that's like on a good one. 20 is not here for B-Step. They're trying to stop the Dragonite. They will be able to with this rotation. That is one positive side to Medivh that we haven't touched up on Dragonshire ever at HGC North America. like globals on Dragonshire, we've always talked about how post 20, how hard it can be. But Medivh's one of the only people that kind of break that rule, just based on the fact that he can literally stay on top of the shrine and take 0 damage, not risk anything, and just wait for you to leave and take it once you're gone. Always making that a lot harder, even if you have a global. That's an ice block down. Goku's going to chase. There's the first snare.
Yeah, he's
There's
got
the
these
second.
slows and roots while the rest of the team starts to funnel into this fight. Superstars, though, are just pushing all of the members of B-Step off the point.
They're
they
channeling.
have another idea, and mine and that is a Dragonite as B-Step hits 20.
It's a 19-minute Dragonite with 20 for B-Step. So they finally have the opportunity to look for a fight. Faye, already taking a lot of damage. Every time she's been in the Dragonite, taking a lot of free damage. And it's because they want it to tank, but Goku, nobody's moving up to tank for this.
I can kind of understand Goku. He doesn't have army.
But then Srey,
of the dead.
somebody
Yeah,
needs to be tanking the damage for this so they can actually get the keep zone. Or spiders are going to do spider things.
I have such good news for you in a couple of seconds.
Master's Touch is almost completed.
We're almost there. We're at 26 right now. Stormbolt hits. iDream's trying to get those.
I swear if you jinx this.
How would I jinx it?
You know, we didn't have to bring it up. We could have just waited till it was finished.
27. 28.
Oh, there's one more.
It's done!
Master's Touch online, and now we will find out if that actually has an impact here. Is B-Step, in a way I never thought I would say before, has managed to keep a keep alive through that Dragonite 20 minutes in. It didn't even really touch the keep. That makes me really worried for Superstars in the future of this game. Like, if that's what they genuinely feel like they can gain out of a 19-minute Dragonite, at what minute mark can a Dragonite win the game?
We could be here for a bit.
It could be a hot minute. The Giants pressure out on bottom. The Knights up on top. Falset's going to escort those.
Guardian of Tirisfal is a great pickup to have for B-Step now since they did lose the keep. Arcane Rift can one-shot minion waves and, importantly, catapults. But they won't have Medivh cheats, so there's no reset button if you mess up Leyline Seal.
No reset button. Faye's just looking to clear out the Knights. Should be easy work this late in the game.
Falstad will be hanging out in the top lane. B-Step may be making a rotation up to see if they can catch him.
They might. First, they got rid of this minion wave. By the fact that that Q wasn't thrown shows that they're going to be ganking somebody. They found the Falstad, at least Medivh did, but he was too afraid to go out and battle.
Yeah, nice plays from Hosty. Not getting caught here in the late game. That would be absolutely detrimental. Unrinding or everything that Superstars have built up to this point.
Just crumbled down. Stormbolt is met. Nubarak is still on top for B-Step. He's going to rotate down. Falstad's doing the opposite, going back towards top as the altars are up here on Dragonshire for another Dragonite phase. 3 members of B-Step going to bottom. Medivh's going to top. It's going to be an even split across the board. Never mind. Nubarak's joining the Hosty on top. He needs to get out.
Howling Blast, Cursed Bullet, Twilight Dream.
And Bolt used by Iacona, so that is a lot of defensives and just big playmaking things down. Howling Blast on a McIntyre.
Gust.
The Gust after Hosty's flight, but no Dream to follow up. Goku falling low. Same with Faye, but APM, he drops an Ancestral before he dies. Not optimal, but at least he got the heroic off.
He did, and it makes sure that King Caffeine is fully ready and committed to this fight as they take down Greymane. They've got one in Cocoon. Hosty looks to be the next person they're trying to focus on, especially now that they have taken out Goku. B-Step out for blood in this late game fight. 23 minutes into Dragonshire, and we're going to have not a B-Step Dragon Knight.
B-Step doing B-Step things time and time again. Here we are. Late game is here, and B-Step is winning fights. They do not get a Dragon Knight thanks to the epic mount of Hosty. But still, it gives them hope more than anything. You know what I mean? I always wonder if Superstars just came in like that last Dragon Knight, got another keep. I don't know if they could have, but if they did, Icon is stunned out. Zombie Wall is not up for a while. Blessed Shield. He's dead. He has no bolt still. But they split focus. They all go on to Matt.
They just want to. Oh, Srey gets caught again by Zombie Wall. That procs indestructible. Gargantuan says hello, Srey. Johanna nearly going down, being taken out. Got to move back, get on the point as quickly as possible. Hosty hanging out in the mid to stop the attempt of Dragon Knight. Once a Nubarak shows he just may fly to the top.
Nubarak goes for the burrow. Hosty doesn't even look for a delay. Not worth the time. Superstars trying to stop what they experienced in the last game.
Very true.
And that is just extreme staggered deaths. This is an invade for Superstars. Nice zone. Goku taking a lot of damage already. He gets deleted with the Dragon Knight up. And what? 60 more seconds without the Arthas. B-Step here has a minimum of a keep on their hands.
This is a 24-minute Dragon Knight barreling down the bottom lane of Superstars structures, taking out the towers and the gate. King Caffeine, McIntyre looking to step up and throw down the damage on this keep.
Another portal set to terrify that area, zone them out. Keep is down the Dragon Knight. 53 seconds left, 53% as they move in towards the core. Guard is going to be dropped. The shields are going to be focused after the ley line seal. Ancestral lands onto iDream. Blessed Shield is going to be used, but it doesn't matter. The Dragon Knight just wailing away on the core. B-Step.
How do they do it?
How do they do this? Every time.
I don't get it. Oh my goodness.
It's like, you know, I like watching B-Step play and I want to watch, like, I want them to be successful, but every time it just feels like, it's weird because it feels like, did they deserve it? Because you can always argue, well, Superstars should be able to apply pressure consistently enough that by not doing that and giving B-Step even an opportunity, in fact, is a misplay and B-Step wins it. But it's just, this is so consistent at this point where I'm just like, you know, it just stop tugging at my heartstrings, whatever's going on with B-Step here, because Superstars just gives them the slightest moment, and B-Step always takes it every time, and they always
will.
It's like 100% chance.
We don't see Superstars as an extremely aggressive, dominant team.
Yeah.
When they get wins by like attrition. Good play as long as they're ahead. We see Superstars as that. And I don't know if in the long run, especially after this game, they can pull the trigger before B-Step hits the spot where they will pull theirs.
Yeah.
We have to ask ourselves that. We're now tied up 1-1. We're